everybody, my name is Bethany. Welcome back to the INFJ Podcast. This is still relatively new. This is only our second episode. But if you watched our first episode, you would know that there's usually another person here. But I'm going solo today. Sorry, some really loud driver. Shut up! Some guy being really obnoxious with his car up. What the heck? Some guy being really obnoxious with their car outside. Okay, great start. So, anyway, hi guys. My name is Bethany. I am one of the members of the INFJ podcast. There's usually, my best friend is here with me, Shannon, but I am alone today. We are still on our winter break from between first and second semester of college. Luckily, thank God, we had back, at least I had back on Saturday. But since I don't have like a winter job or anything, I am just literally sitting at home and I have nothing to do. So I was like, to hell with it. I'm just gonna film a solo podcast today by myself because I have a lot of stuff to talk about, both good and bad, and I just kind of want to get it out. So the good thing about this podcast is I can literally just rant about stuff that I want to and no one will care. I mean, hopefully some of you will care. So, anyway. Also, I apologize if I look like I'm about to, crawl in bed and fall asleep. I promise I'm not, tired or anything. Our house is just freezing. It's actually warmer outside than it is in our house right now. I don't know how that is, but it's, 50 degrees here today, which is not normal compared to what it has been. It's been in the 20s. So today is the rare warm day of January apparently. Oh, sorry. If I'm looking down, it's because I have stuff popping up on my phone. I'm just gonna try not to do that. So I guess since this podcast is still relatively new, I'm going to do a little introduction. Welcome to what we call the that was a terrible intro. Let me do that again as if that didn't happen. Welcome to our INFJ podcast is what we call it. Actually, fun fact, I found out the other day that INFJ is actually the rarest personality type. I read this somewhere. Hang on. I'm gonna look this up. I definitely saw it the other day. I was like, how is that? That's just a major coincidence. We called it INFJ because Shannon and I are both INFJs. Apparently it's the rarest personality type in the world, which is pretty cool. I don't know how we managed to get two of them on the same podcast, but that's a thing. So this is a podcast that me and usually my other friend Shannon, we literally just sit together and talk about stuff in our lives, or we'll select one topic to talk about, and we'll talk about everything under the sun. Honestly, I think most ages are welcome to this channel. I will warn you that there will be, there's a lot of swearing. I don't know how much swearing I'll be doing today, probably a little bit, which will come later. But we will talk about, and we're not afraid to talk about topics that have potential triggers, which there will be some today too. I'm sure a lot of you can probably guess what this already is, considering the news that's been going on. But yeah, I'm just gonna say it now. This is the first podcast with a trigger warning, which includes mentions of suicide and depression. So just be prepared when that comes later. I'll warn you all when I'm about to talk about that. But that's about halfway through. So yeah, we just started this project in late December of last year, I can now say. And we've only done one episode so far. This is the second episode. So if you just started, welcome. You haven't missed that much. You can go back and watch our first episode where we kind of introduce ourselves, because you probably want to know what our backgrounds are and the things that we do before we get going here. but you're still early on in the game. So, with that being said, I think I'm going to try to get into this podcast now because I'm not kidding, I have a lot of stuff to talk about today. I do want to mention one thing. If you hear at any point in this podcast like a rumbling noise, my house is really close to an airport, so there are sometimes planes that fly over our heads. So if you hear a rumbling, don't worry, that's what it is. It's nothing serious. Alright, so I have a list of stuff to talk about. First things first. So since we have last uploaded an episode, it is a new year. Happy New Year, everybody. It is 2018. I know, we're now 9 days into the year, and I'm just now saying this. So I'm probably the last person to tell you, but Happy New Year. I'm sure a lot of you have. I know I have made some personal resolutions that I'm going to try to stick to. I've almost failed a couple already. And so I think I'm just going to talk about resolutions a little bit and, all that fun stuff. So, first thing is I find it interesting. I don't remember where I saw this, but there's like a statistic somewhere that like over half of Americans will give up their New Year's resolution like 2 weeks into the year, or like by February or something, which kind of baffles me. I don't know what kind of resolutions people are making, because maybe they just like try to make a resolution that's ridiculously like not possible. But so that's why like this year I was like, okay, I honestly like never make resolutions. I'm just like, whatever, start fresh, new, I don't care. I'm just gonna make this year a really good one. But this year I was like, okay, I'm going to try to make resolutions because maybe that will help me keep more on track than I usually am, which I'm usually a very organized person, but just like I'm especially like this year, I told myself, I was like, this is going to be a year where, I take care of myself both physically and mentally. I'm not so like hesitant on the physically part because if you saw it from our first podcast, Shannon and I are both in school right now, and we're studying dance. So we literally dance like pretty much every day, like all day. We dance for like 3 hours a day. So we get plenty of exercise, and we're shaping our bodies and training our bodies to pursue a career in dance later on after we graduate. So I'm not so worried about that portion, except for I do want to try to do more physical activity on the weekends, because last year and freshman year, literally the weekends, it's dead. Like, campus is dead, I'm dead, everyone is dead. And so Shannon and I never go anywhere. We just sit in our apartment and, like, are on our laptops all day, which is not good. Like, we also do homework and, like, laundry and stuff, which is productive. But most of the time, we literally just, like, sit on the couch and have nothing to do. So, I think I'm going to try to convince her to maybe, like, go to the gym every Saturday and Sunday at a set time so that we can also exercise on the weekends. Because it's been proven that, like, exercise does help you live a healthier life and happier life. So, because it, like, releases the energy that you need to keep yourself going. So I think I'm going to try to do that more this year and less sitting on the couch browsing Tumblr and whatnot. So that's the physical aspect of it. And then the mental side is, I think, especially since this year has gotten a lot harder, not necessarily year, but last semester, I had a couple episodes where I was just like, felt completely, not worthless, but like I had no motivation to do anything. So there were days where I would just lie on the couch for like hours and not move because I didn't have the will to get up and do anything. And I think part of that is because I'm not taking care of myself the way I need to. So I'm going to try to do that more this year. And I think that would be beneficial for Shannon too. I think the two of us, we are very, very similar. I think you'll find this out in many ways throughout this podcast, but I think we are also similar in the way that we help each other to get through the semester and life the way we need to. So, which is a good thing. If you can find somebody who you can do that with, that is one of the greatest things, because then you'll like feed off each other with, again, your energy, and it will just make life easier for you. So, if you can in college, try to find somebody who just fits you perfectly, because life is so much easier. So anyway, yeah, resolutions. I made a couple. I guess I can share a couple here. I shared a couple the other day when I was filming a different video. The number one I want to do this year more, this sounds so stupid, but I want to drink more water. For some reason last year I was terrible. I don't know. I have no valid explanation as to why I didn't drink water. But there were days, especially again the whole weekends, where I would be sitting on the couch or doing whatever, and 7 p.m. would roll around and I'd say, oh crap, I have not drank water at all today. So I'm like, I was just absolutely terrible at it last year. So this year which, speaking of, I haven't drank water today, but I'm not going to get up and get some right now. But when I'm done, I'm going to drink water, I promise. But I'm on a roll so far. We're on day 9, and I've been drinking water every day. So I'm keeping that one up. I'm trying to remember what some of my other ones were. Okay. Second one is I'm trying to remove, and I've been doing this last year, but I want to keep removing negative people from my life. This is a good thing for just everybody to do in general. Honestly, like, especially with, I'm just gonna go on a little rant here, social media. If you follow somebody that you just either don't care for or don't pay attention to enough, or like they have no relevance to you, just unfollow them. Like, there's no point in, like, I hate the fact that like people do it nowadays for the numbers, because they want to have be like, oh, I have 52K followers. It's like, no one cares. Like, what matters is how important the followers are to you. Like, do they have a relevance to you? Like, are they drastically changing your life in a positive way? If they're not, then like, there's no point in following. I don't understand why people do that. They just want to do it for the numbers, and that kind of drives me insane. Cause like, last year I went on like a spree and just unfollowed a bunch of people from Facebook, cause I was like, I never talked to you. Like, I knew you in maybe middle school, and that was like 10 years ago. I'm never gonna talk to you again in my life. So I was just like, okay, bye. And honestly, let me tell you, it's just like weight off the shoulders, and it feels amazing. So, I mean, that's not just necessarily, people on social media. Like, I'm going to do that with people in my life, too. Like, I'm sick of people telling me, you can't be this or you can't do that. Like, I'm just so done with it. So I'm just going to, bye. I'm just going to erase them. Because it's going to, trust me, it makes a difference. Like, it really does. And so, but kind of hand in hand with that, while I'm removing people from my life, I'm also cherishing the relationships I have with people. So, like, Shannon and I, we're gonna keep building a relationship and get, make it so that it's stronger. And, I mean, honest to God, I haven't said this enough, but like, she doesn't know this, and I haven't like told her to her face, but like I flat out love her. Like we've gotten to the point where like I would do anything for her. I think she probably knows that, but like we're just inseparable basically. And like that's like one of the best things to have in life is, you know, a friendship that is that strong, because it's very hard to break apart. And I have a couple friendships like that, so both with family and friends. So I'm gonna try and keep those friendships strong so that I don't lose the people who I do love, because that, let me tell you, is one of the worst things. I'm not gonna get into that. I could get into that a whole another podcast on its own, but I'm not gonna get there today. So that was 2 and 3. I had another one that was traveling more. I love to travel. Last year I went to a whole bunch of new places. I went to Oklahoma City. I went to Michigan. I'm from Pennsylvania, but I went back to Pennsylvania, and I've been to Massachusetts, but I went back there. So I went to like a lot of places in 2017. But hopefully I can go to even more this year. I already know that in March I'm going to New York City to see my older sister, because she lives there. But, you know, over the summer I'm going to probably get another dance job like I did last year. And hopefully that will take me to a new place. So yeah, I mean, ideally I would love to travel outside of the US, but like, I'm broke, so that's not happening. But that is like my goal someday, is to just, because, you know, I'm finally 20 years old and I have yet to travel outside of the United States. Even like Canada. I've never been to Canada. So I'm just saying, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I've never been outside the US and I really need to. But anyways, that was one of my other resolutions, was to travel more. And then my last one was just kind of still, again, going off of last year, still kind of finding myself and letting, you know, expressing myself without worrying about people judging me or, you know, feeling insecure or blah, blah, blah. So that, honestly, I think that was like a big chunk of my 2017, especially like the last quarter, was just me trying to really find out who I am, which is super important. I will say, like, don't be afraid to just go against kind of rules or binaries that are set up by society. That is like, oh my god, I could talk about that like in a whole other podcast too. Like, just the fact that there are certain binaries that do exist that are like deemed the norm, but you do not have to follow them. Like, I mean, for example, like, I'm trying to be a professional dancer, and technically if you want to be a dancer, like, you have to follow certain, like, you know, appearance guidelines. So like, you're supposed to have long hair, and clearly I do not. So like, I think like some of these binaries are set up so that like you can get through life with the fewest complications as possible, like the hair and dance thing. But honestly, I think it's more important if you focus on expressing yourself. And because like, if you go through life and you're not being yourself, then that's just a complete waste. Like, there needs to be a sense of self and uniqueness and standing out from the rest of the crowd. Like, I know that sounds like super cheesy and stuff, but it's true. So I think that's pretty much all of the resolution. Those are like, I made more, but I think those are like the ones that I'm willing to share. So if you want, you can leave a comment on our podcast and type out maybe what some of your resolutions were. or how you want 2018 to be better. Maybe, if 2017 wasn't too good, then write something that makes you happy and can contribute to making your 2018 better. I think I said this in my video, and I'm going to say it again. I just wish 2018 is full of happiness, good health, and what was the other one? I don't even remember. But happiness and good health. And I wish it on all of you guys watching and or listening to this. I just wish you happiness and good health in 2018. So we've talked about New Year's resolutions. This was a fun, more good news. This was a fun little milestone for me personally. For those of you who don't know, I have a separate YouTube channel from this one. I was the first of the two of us on YouTube. Shannon technically has a channel, but she hasn't uploaded any videos. She just has a channel, sort of. But I legit have a channel, and I film and make and edit videos and upload them. And I think it was 3 days ago. Since now, my channel turned 1 year old. So I have officially hit the 1 year anniversary of my channel. It is called Artsy Bugsy, like ARTSYBUGSY. If you want to go check it out and subscribe, that would be awesome, and I would appreciate it a lot. But I made a video celebrating that milestone because it was pretty huge, and I don't have a crazy amount of subscribers or anything, but honestly, it's a really fun project to do. I enjoy it a lot, and I'm really looking forward to doing more this year. I'm excited. And I put out 24 or some videos in my first year, which I am super proud of, so I'm just gonna say that. So yeah, my channel hit 1 year, and I'm really excited, and my first video of 2018 is on my channel. So if you want to go check it out, there's a link in the description, or you can just type it in and it will pop up. Okay, so I don't want to talk about this, but I feel like I need to talk about this. Okay, so this is where I said the trigger warnings come in, suicide and depression and all that. I'm sure pretty much all of you watching and or listening to this can guess what I'm about to talk about, because it's been all over the news, and I'm probably the last person to talk about this and discuss this. I don't want to call it an issue. Well, it kind of is. But I feel like since there are people listening and watching to us, that I need to say something about it, especially since I'm trying to be a YouTuber myself. So I'm just gonna go ahead and sit here, and hopefully I don't rant for too long, because I don't have a crap ton of time that I think I do. So for those of you who don't know, or may have been living under a rock for the past week and a half, there is a YouTuber named Logan Paul, which, side note, I'm just gonna go ahead and say this right now. I'm just gonna give my stance. I personally have disliked not only Logan, but Jake Paul as well. I have disliked both of them since their names were crazy out there, and everyone was fawning over them. Ever since the beginning, I had my judgments that they were both terrible people. That they're just self-centered and spoiled, and they just, all they think about is themselves. And I'm starting to think that that's true for this instance that just happened with Logan. And everybody was used to be saying how Logan is technically the good one of the brothers, but honestly, I don't like either of them. So that's my stance. I said it. You can judge me all you want, but yeah. So, if you didn't know, I think it was on like January 2nd. Logan has his official channel and then he has a vlog channel. And on his vlog channel, he uploaded a video that was called something like, "We found a dead body in the Japanese suicide forest." Which the title, just right off the bat, should give you a hint that this is gonna go downhill. I saw the video when it was still uploaded, but I did not watch the whole thing. Like, I just saw what it was about, and I was like, nope, I'm not gonna watch this because it's just gonna make me really angry, and I'm just gonna feel disrespectful, which, yeah. And for some reason, Logan, I gotta backtrack. So there is, a forest in Japan that is, they call it the suicide forest because, there is a huge problem with suicide in Japan, which is extremely unfortunate. And, for this podcast, I will link in the description, resources to, like, suicide and prevention hotlines, so that if you feel like you need help, you can go get it, because it's really important that you do get help. And I promise you, help is out there for you. So yeah, there's this forest in Japan, and Logan spent the first couple days of 2018 in Japan. And before, like, he even did anything serious, I heard that he was not respecting the people of Japan. As if, like, they basically weren't real, which is completely unokay, first off, but that wasn't even the worst of it. So, towards, like, the middle/end of the video, he and his crew went into the suicide forest and what the fuck they were thinking, but decided it was going to be a good idea to film everything in the forest. And, they came across a body that, this person had probably died, like, hours before. But, like, he tried to hide it in the video, and it was very poorly done. Again, I didn't watch the whole video, because I was like, meh. But, I have heard from, like, resources that he tried to take the camera up close to Zed body. Like, no, that's completely God, I don't even have words, I'm so offended. But the thing that baffles me the most is that not only did he film this, it's bad enough that he filmed it, but then he thought it would be okay to edit, leave it in there, and upload it to the internet. Could you get any more disrespectful? Like, and in case you didn't, like, notice or you missed it, the thumbnail had the body in it. Like, he deliberately put the body in the thumbnail. Like, oh my god, I'm telling you, this kid, like, and it makes me cringe to think that this guy is only 2 years older than me. Like, I am losing faith in our country. because he's not only made himself look bad, he's made like half of the US look bad, and like probably not even half, probably more than that. He's just like made our country look really awful, and like, and then the stuff that came after it, like so what baffled me is YouTube took forever to take the video down. Like, it didn't come down until like a day and a half, 2 days later. This video was up online for like close to 48 hours, and God knows how many, I think like over 100,000 people saw this video. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just like, I'm ready to just like explode. But God, and then, when he finally took it down, he made an apology on Twitter, which I'm gonna see if I can try to find it, which just made me want to punch him, because if you read it, it was completely about himself. Like, he showed he didn't he didn't apologize to the family of the victim, he didn't do anything. It just, oh God. Okay, well, I found it, and I don't want to okay, yeah, I don't want to read the whole thing because that could take a little bit, but here's one of the lines that pissed me off the most. I didn't do it for views. I get views. No one freaking cares. Like, that's just... that is just boastfulness right there. I get views. Like, seriously? Now you're just being a jerk about it. Like, oh, God. And then continued on, and at the very end puts a peace sign emoji and his hashtag Logan for life. Dude, that's not an apology. Yeah. So, it just, and I remember like seeing that when the apology came out, and I was just like, you don't give a fuck. You could honestly not give a single fuck about this, could you? And then, he uploaded a video to his vlog channel, and that was another slightly more sincere apology, but still I wasn't buying it. Like, I was not buying it. So yeah, I wanted to comment on the whole situation because it's just, it upsets me that there are people in this world who think that it is okay to do something like that, and then, they act like it's not a big deal. And it really is. Like, especially with Japan and suicide. You don't joke about that kind of thing. You never joke about that kind of thing. I don't care what country it is. It's never okay to laugh about something that's that serious. And, I mean, this kid just thought it was okay to film a video and edit it and show a body to get views. And, God. So, I think I'm just gonna stop, because if I rant about this anymore, I'm gonna get angrier and angrier. So I think I'm gonna stop with the whole Logan Paul thing. But, so yeah, just know, and some of you who watch this may support Logan Paul. I don't know what to tell you, and you can comment all you want and you can try to defend him, but nothing's gonna undo what he did. I'm just telling you that. Like, he screwed up majorly, and I can't believe that there are people out there trying to defend him. I'm just saying that. So I'm gonna move on and talk about something a little better, more heartwarming. So, sorry, I'm shifting. Getting a nice shot of me. So I think it was Sunday was the Golden Globes happened. I didn't watch any of it. But I did see, because it was trending on YouTube, I saw Oprah's speech after she got, I forget what the award was, but she got like one of the highest awards from the Golden Globes. I mean, I was just gonna say, I know I'm gonna get judged for this, but I'm not like a huge fan of Oprah. Like, I know some people rave about her, but I'm just kind of like, meh. But anyway, I mean, like, I respect her and everything. I think she's a great person, and she tries to do a lot of very beneficial things for people. So, I have nothing against her. But her speech on Sunday at the Golden Globes had a lot of really informative topics that needed to be said, I think. She really emphasized the importance of women speaking out, saying Me Too, and trying to end, sexual harassment. It's supposed to be in Hollywood, but honestly, it's kind of building across the nation now, and actually the entire globe. There are women everywhere saying Me Too. But she mentioned, seeing a world where nobody has to say Me Too anymore, where this just doesn't happen. And, I think she's right. Like, I think we need to take steps to progress so that, because last year, like, it just seemed like from the middle of the year on, like, every other week you heard about a case of sexual harassment somewhere. And the numbers just kept going up, and I was like, oh my god, this is insane. But just the fact that there are people out there addressing these topics and trying to, be a kind of light for a woman and stress that they have been extremely powerful for sharing their stories and, speaking out these words. And, it's very moving and inspirational. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of stuff like that. Not just sexual harassment, but other things regarding women I think are going to be really big this year. I think because of the whole sexual harassment thing and, the women speaking out, being on the cover of Time magazine, that's going to make a really big impact and, motivate women and, let them know that, it's okay to speak out and it's important to speak out. So, yeah, I don't know how I forget the rest of the stuff that she talked about, but, and I mean, I just want to say, like, I'm not only proud of the women who are coming out and saying Me Too, but to all of the men who are supporting these women and, helping them gain this equality that is still somehow in our country is still present. So there is a lot of inequality that is present in our country and needs to be addressed, but considering our current legislation, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So yeah, I think it was a long speech, but there was a lot of things that needed to be said. And I feel like Oprah just nailed it. So I'm really, really glad I watched that. And, it was really amazing to see, the crowd at the Golden Globes, standing up and just, applauding her like crazy. Because I think she really deserved it for that. And I mean, not to mention that Natalie Portman was completely savage. I mean, the all-male nominees, I was like, oh, damn, okay. But, I mean, I'm just gonna say it's true. I mean, yeah, I'm just not gonna comment anymore because I could talk about this for days and I don't have much time left. So, yeah. If you haven't seen Oprah's Golden Globe speech, I'm sure it's definitely still trending on YouTube, so I would go and check that out because it's amazing, and in fact, I could even put a link to it in the description because I think a lot of people will really need to see it, not only if you live in the United States, but if you live, wherever. I think it's really important that you listen to it. So yeah, I think that has been mostly the big news that has happened since we last saw each other or did a podcast. I haven't had many personal fun stories to tell. I mean, I went to the dentist today and that was about as fun as it got. And yay, cleaning teeth, where they scrape at your mouth with metal. Fun. I mean, let me say, if any of you watching or listening, if you didn't have to go through the trauma of braces, be thankful, because it's one of the worst things you have to go through. Yeah, I'm gonna stick metal brackets and wires in your mouth and fix your smile. Great. Yeah. Such a wonderful day and age we live in. So yeah, I have not had anything fun. I filmed the one video for my channel celebrating 1 year anniversary, and I did another one with my sister where we played a game, which hasn't come out yet. So if you watch my channel, I'm doing a gaming video. Spoiler alert, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but we did a gaming video. So yeah, I think I'm gonna start wrapping this up because I've been talking for a really long time. I wasn't expecting to hit the time mark, but I did. Go me. So yeah, the next time you see me, hopefully I will be with Shannon again, or maybe it will just be Shannon, I don't know. But the next time you see us, we will be back at school for our second semester, which hopefully is not going to be as crazy as first semester. I'm taking less credit hours this round. So, I'm heading back on Saturday, and we don't start classes until Tuesday. So we'll have a couple of days to relax and kind of figure out what we're doing with our life. So, but for now, it is a beautiful day outside. The sun is shining. It is in the 50s. I don't know what's happening. But, yeah. So, and my phone keeps going off. So, I can't wait to see Shannon. I wish I could have had her somehow on this podcast today, because honestly, it feels kind of lonely when you're by yourself and you don't have someone to spew information to. I'm just I need someone to talk to me, but I don't. So, but luckily I get to Snapchat her later today. I'm girl, I need to talk to you. It's been 3 weeks. So, anyway. So, I think that is all for this episode on our INFJ podcast. If you liked it, please hit the like button because we greatly appreciate that. If you want, you can comment below on any of the stuff that I have been talking about. I could have talked about it way more in depth, but I wanted to talk about a variety of stuff for this episode. Yeah. Make sure you also write about maybe any New Year's resolutions you may have. We would also extremely appreciate it if you went and shared our podcast with people, even if you don't know us personally. We would really like to reach a bigger audience. So, if you enjoy watching and or listening to these, maybe just be like, hey, and share it. Share the link and see if you can get other people in, and so we can get a conversation going and, just kind of chat about anything out there that we can. So, I think that's all. Happy 2018 again, everybody. Wherever you may be, I hope you're doing well. If you're going back to school, don't worry. I promise it's gonna be okay. You can do it. Get good grades, study hard, find a job. If you can't find a job, that's okay too. I promise it's okay. And I think we're gonna sign off. So that's it for episode number 2, and I will see you guys next time, hopefully with a Shannon. Bye!